Welcome back to the Success Blueprint, where I talk with VP Ferdie, my dad, everything he did in order to achieve the success he has now, and how me, as a Gen Z, could adapt and learn those things from him. And maybe there are some things he could learn from me. So, this episode, we're talking about one thing that dad talked to me about when I started joining this business. It was very important to him. He had that sense of urgency that I don't know how to say it in English, dad, but that giggle,
Passion.
that passion when you start the business. Dad always talks about dreams, and at first I was kind of confused about it. Why is he talking about dreams? Obviously I have goals of my own. Why does it have to be reviewed when you start this business? So dad, I want to ask you, very first question, when you were starting out, did you have a crystal clear vision of how you wanted your life to be?
Um, no, I don't have any when I was starting. Although I'm excited because when I got and landed a good job, I thought that was it.
Yeah.
Right? And of course, my dreams starting was very simple to um, earn a living and just like anybody else, be able to live a simple life. Okay, but of course, as you look into your life, that's where you can see that actually I can do more. It's just a matter of believing in it and knowing that there are other things that you can do if you become a dreamer.
Yeah.
Okay, or I would say a person who has goals.
Yeah. But when you started direct selling, it was more than 30 years ago. My
Yes,
eldest sister is about to be 30 this year. So when you started, you didn't have children, it was just you
yes.
and mom. What was your vision of what life could be like with just the two of you? How what did it inspire you to continue doing this business and basically retire early from being an engineer?
Well, your mom and I, we were office mates when we started, right? And I've seen enough people who are working so hard, but seeing what they have become after being in that company. I told myself, I think I need to change direction. Okay, and then when we were starting, of course, we had a very simple life. I remember we were just renting a house owned by my parents-in-law, and I don't like that situation. Okay, and then we're that situation where we always talk about um, a regular thing wherein you go to work and then come back home, go to work, come back home, so life became, I would say, predetermined. Okay, and so I told myself when I started to see this direct selling business, I told myself, well, there's a way to actually reach your biggest dreams. Because where we were before, like my dreams were big, okay, and then but the potential is so small.
Yeah.
So there came a point wherein I have to lower in my dreams because of the reality of life, and that's normal, right? That was my initial take on myself. But when I saw people, the first person I saw in direct selling was a fisherman. Okay, I
Wow.
was invited um, by a friend from the bank. Okay, she's a bank teller, and we were good friends. And then she told me, "Hey, Ferdy, I would like to invite you to an opportunity." Okay, and then, of course, as a friend, I went there, and then she told me, um, the the speaker is a very successful fisherman. So I said, why will I listen to a fisherman? Okay, but to make the long story short, the fisherman came, but he doesn't like the fisherman in the Philippines is like when we look at them is like somebody who is not doing well in life, right? But This fisherman was like in a really good dress, like he talked so well. And then he said that time he was making like $20,000 a month.
Wow.
And I said, I want to be a fisherman. And then the curiosity was there. But that time I was like not open yet because
Yeah.
I was just promoted in the office. So my take is that, wow, there's another thing to do that can actually bring my biggest dreams.
I think a lot of the things I learned from you when you were mentoring me last year, even up until now,
Yes.
is people need to dream, but
Yes.
sometimes people are stuck
Mm-hmm.
just dreaming, planning, but never really doing or achieving that dream. So why do you think so many people are stuck in that time frame in their lives?
I think most people they have a dream, but they it's just a fantasy, right? Meaning it's a wish list.
Yeah.
But I think when you are truly into your dream, you need to list it down, write it down. Okay. I always tell people goals are dreams with a deadline. And most people will dream of, I want to be somebody, I want to achieve this, but they actually don't do anything about it. And but the great thing with when you start doing this business, actually the very first eight basic building blocks when you start doing this business is number one is about dreams,
Yeah.
your dreams. So you have to uh, be organized and mindful of what you really want in life. Now, of course, there's training on it, okay, wherein um, you have a short term and a long term goals. Okay? Some people don't want to call it even dreams.
Yeah.
Or they will say it's a purpose, a goal. But let's make it. I would say something that is your dreams becoming your goals. So when I started, my first goal was to get out of debt because that time we have credit cards and we have loans in the office. And the first thing I said, the short-term goal is to get out of debt. Okay, so I put there in my dream list that in 3 to 6 months I need to be debt-free. And it happened, right? Because it's so definite. And then I said, after that, I said, I need to have a brand new car. Okay, and I place it, I said, probably in less than a year, I should have a good car because the time I was commuting, I have I have a company car provided by the company I work with, but it's not mine, right? I can't even bring it on weekends. So it's I think it's the fire in you
Yeah.
that allows you to push yourself. So when you are dreaming, you need to be hungry and angry with your situation, right?
Yeah.
Because if you are satisfied where you are, most people will be comfortable. Okay? But here, when you dream, you have to get out of your comfort zone and basically do the things necessary to make it happen.
When we started our mentoring last year, you told me to be very specific with my dreams.
Yes.
And during that time, I would say I was already
Mm-hmm.
in one of my dreams working as a graphic designer for a good marketing company. I was also a marketing consultant for another company. And I would say during college, that was my dream.
Yes.
So I know now that dreams evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm part of the business full time, I'm actually setting deadlines for my dreams, like achieving the gold rank. So happy I achieved it last month. Without your help, it would have been so hard to achieve that goal. But now, how were you able to evolve your dreams? You were saying earlier when you were younger, not yet really fully starting in direct selling, you had to limit your dreams and kind of bring them
I think it's
down.
about your dream building. And it's also when you achieve um, a milestone, like you start to believe in yourself that I
Yeah.
can actually do more. Okay, so because like that was for some people, getting out of debt could be something that is simple. But to me, when I start to achieve it, then I start to believe in myself. I
Yeah.
remember even your mom, when we were starting, of course, she have not seen yet what I am seeing in our business, because of course she's busy with the home and the job, but I was very much focused into making things happen through our direct selling business. So that's where I told myself, well, it can be done. I remember now we are in, I would say, my dream house. When we were starting, I just saw this. I was invited to attend in a prayer meeting in this same village, and I was amazed. I said, "How come people can live in this um, kind of house and in this kind of village?" So that time I was just starting the business, and I told your mom also that, hey, one day we can actually live here.
Yeah.
Okay, and of course it becomes part of your dream. Okay, so it's you do it. Uh, we always tell people, slow is fast, and fast is slow. Right? So meaning it may take some time, but gradually as you believe, and then you achieve, and then that's the time you'll say, hey, if I can do this, I can actually do more. And basically what check on your dreams, and then probably add some more.
Yeah. Is there some kind of way that you keep track of your progress? How do you know you're on the right path?
Well, it's good. Like we have the rank advancement. So I would say I want to become a gold rank, and then later on I would be a sapphire, platinum. Yeah. So there are parameters. Okay, so and then also, for example, you want to earn so much. It's a simple, I would say, mathematics
Yeah.
that if you produce, let's say, the volume like this, then you will be getting like this. So the target becomes very clear, because for example, I know a lot of people are earning a lot of money now, but for example, for people like us, earning extra $1,000 a month would be a good start, right?
Yeah.
And I call it, I have a module before, I call it the $1,000 solution. So I think earning extra $1,000 could make your life easier and much exciting. So it's a matter of learning to achieve those things, and of course, it should also hone your skills.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember when we were starting, when I talk to 10 people, one will believe. Okay, so most people will say this business is not for me. So I told my wife, that your mom, that hey, I need to invite 20 next week, because I'm sure I can get two.
Yeah.
So it's like your batting average, right? Your batting average becomes better as you practice it, as you do it.
Yeah.
Okay, after a while, out of the 10 people that I invite, three will join. And so my batting average is increasing. Okay, so by doing it, okay, you start to create practically how to achieve your dreams through this kind of achievements.
Yeah. Now that you're, can I say your age to the podcast? Now that you're 61,
Yes.
in the Philippines, it's very common after 60, you just rest,
Mm-hmm.
really relax, enjoy what you've built already. I know you're already doing that with the amount of times you're going golfing and traveling, but what has why are you still here? Why are you still doing the business? Are you still presenting?
Well, it's I've seen also the founders. Okay, actually, when we were starting, the first 3 years, we were saying, okay, maybe after 2 more years, we should retire.
Yeah.
Okay, but as we always say, when you are enjoying what you do, okay, it's not a work, it's not a
Yeah.
job anymore. It is something that you want to do. Okay, at the same time, the good thing probably, I read the book on Retire Young, Retire Rich by Robert Kiyosaki. This guy also made a lot of millions. He made it in life, and he tried to retire. Okay, and after about 3, 5, 7 days, he was already what thinking, why am I doing this? Right? So meaning, I think retirement to us is getting off maybe a few days. And then because I remember our founder telling me, hey, Ferdy, you should get back to our mission, which is raise yourself to help mankind. And that time, it stick to my mind. He said these are two equations. Okay, he said, raise yourself is the first part, which you did. Okay, of course you can still raise yourself, but the other equation is to help mankind.
Yeah.
And this thing basically uh, doesn't stop. At the same time, in any business, look at the most successful businessmen, right? We have Warren Buffett. I would say Henry C. I've seen him, the owner of all the SM malls, mega malls in the Philippines. When he was still there, in his 80s, he was still what? Cutting ribbons
Yeah.
of all the malls that he opened. So meaning, I think it's for us, it's a delight to see people that you leave a legacy. Okay, and then I remember Miles Monroe. He said, "Success is never a success without a successor." And I'm seeing that of course there might be some people who could be successful and success becomes them, but it is always great to see new people achieving their dreams because you have influenced them.
Yeah.
So I think it's so great because I've heard in one I would say preaching, and the speaker was saying that he finally realized that life begins at 60.
Oh.
Yeah, not 40. Why? Because at 60, probably at this point, you could be wiser, you could be more successful, probably you have more resources. So this is the best time really to enjoy yourself. Why stop? So why stop?
I'm just 25 years old, so I'm very Gen Z. Lots of distractions here and there from TikTok, Facebook, and whatnot. If you were to go back in being the same age as me, 25 years old, what would you have changed in the way you were living life then?
Yeah, I think it's before you don't have a definite purpose, right? So I think your previous question is that when you have a life purpose, so it keeps you going,
Yeah.
right? So I would say the question that you have, what's that? What's that again?
What
What
would you
if
have done differently if you were to go back to being 25 years old?
I think I should have started this kind of business
Earlier?
when I was at that age. Yeah, I started the business when I was already 34. Okay, and has changed my life. So we always tell this. Retirement can happen to you in 40 years, and most people retire at 60, 65. When we talk about financial stability. But when you are in business, like direct selling, you could actually achieve that financial stability after only 4 years. So it's a lot different.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of like that time I I was what to call this? I was focused on really making myself better through doing what studies
Yeah.
in related to my job, and I think that was like not good. When you are in this kind of mindset, you want to change all aspects of your life, your physical, right? Your mental, your spiritual. At that time, I was not. There was no direction. So I think it's a matter of knowing at your age what you really want to do, and that makes you what start young, start right, and then achieve earlier in life.
Yeah. And I'm so happy. The company QNet is older than me, so I really grew up listening to dad speak, listening to dad share opportunities to other people younger than him or even older than him. Now that, Gen Z is coming into the workforce, what do you think Gen Z can learn from boomers when it comes to discipline and goal setting?
Yes, there is no shortcut in life. They all most people will say most people now probably are more impatient. I would say because everything is instant,
Yes.
right? That time we are what I would say there was no social media.
Yeah.
So probably what we know was limited.
Mm.
Okay, but the problem now is over information.
Yeah.
Okay, so most I would say I not to say that we are far but no, so there's no focus on what you want to do, and there's a lot of influencer. Okay, so meaning you tend to be what confused on what to do. Okay, because there are so many things that there's a lot of opportunities that come in your way. So it's a jack of all trades and a master of none,
Yeah.
right? So
I used to be like that, by the way. When I was in second year college, I started working part time. I did a lot of part time jobs, like 2 to 3 at a time. And I realized when I was in my mentoring with dad that I had to focus on something, a higher purpose. I would admit, to the fact that because of you, because of the business you and mom have built together and have really given us, the privilege of experiencing that kind of childhood, good lifestyle. My dad and my mom would often bring us to and from school. So those challenges were out of the picture. But now the challenge is really deciding what do I want to do. There's so many opportunities.
there's one word, Casey, that I would
Yeah.
say that could be something that does not there. It's multitasking.
Yeah.
So you guys were like you were in a Zoom, but you were doing I don't know posting in Facebook or answering Telegram or
Yeah.
Viber. I don't know. I think multitasking in some ways could be um, effective, but I believe to be very successful in life, there must be a definite purpose.
Yeah.
There must be a focus.
Mm.
Okay, so I think it's more of really there's a lot of things to do in this generation.
Yeah.
Like before when the video games were starting, I was so focused on Sega. Okay,
Sega. Sonic.
yes, that's all I play, right? But now everything is there, right?
Everything is in my
It's in the
iPad.
phone, it's in the iPad, right? So I think that's where I would advise that if you want to be successful as a blueprint, is you have to focus.
Yeah. Focus.
Like for our business, we always say you need to do presentations. Okay, and sometimes being busy doesn't mean that you are getting there or you are successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, right? For example, there's Netflix, There's we have all of this. We're subscribed to all of this.
Yeah.
Yep. So we have Apple TV. We have
HBO
HBO
Prime.
Prime, right? So you there's so many things that may not be productive for you to become successful in this business.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I was saying, it should be inviting people, prospecting. Like we have a presentation this Saturday, right? Now, probably, I would say I have seen a lot of people who became very successful in this business. I have seen most of the top earners now. These are people who did basically the things necessary for them to become successful.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that you can do other than what should have been done.
Yeah. But now that you've experienced working, well, you have two Gen Z daughters, me and Ate Kate, and one millennial, Ate Camille. Now that you've worked with the younger generation, after we graduated, we all, even outside of the business, we all really take a minute or two to really talk to each other, look for advice, learn something new from
Yes.
one another. What do you think the older generations could learn from Gen Z and millennials?
I think it's for what I've seen, like looking at you, my daughters, you read a lot
Yes.
of books, right? Which I think during our time, at least with me, I don't do much of those. But for you, it becomes, I would say, a necessity to learn more about what's happening in the world.
Mm.
Okay, and I think that is a clear advantage for all of you because it's all available, right? Before you need to buy books, but now it's all available online, right?
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I can see also you have you're more bolder than us, meaning you speak what's in your heart. So I think that's a good one. Now, when we were growing up, we're not that as vocal as you. So I think that's a good trait of Jess, which I want to learn also. Like now speaking with all of you, uh, they're all good in speaking English, right? And you have become international because the internet opened the world for you.
Yeah.
So I think you have more knowledge than us in terms of, um, I would say, the references that you have.
Yeah.
Before, we had to buy an encyclopedia, 50 volumes,
Wow.
for you to learn. But now you can just type it,
Google.
Google it, and you know the answer.
Yeah.
So you have all this, I would say, knowledge, and they say knowledge is power,
Yeah.
which you have available.
That's true. So now that we're kind of closing in this episode, Dad, if our listeners could take away one thing from this podcast, what do you think it should be?
I think for each one of us, we have to believe in our dreams. Okay, but to believe in our dreams, we need to be, I would say, uh, keep on tracking on the achievements that you have on your dreams. So you have to always take inventory of where you are already. Okay, so most people, I would say for me, I would say I have achieved many of my goals and my dreams because I keep track of it. So there's, and also I know the efforts and the hard work I have to put in there so that I can achieve it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a matter of really working on your dreams. Okay, and at the same time, you don't stop until you reach those dreams. So that's what I would tell people. And also, dreaming is free,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So why not dream big? Okay, so and I would say um, you can actually achieve that
Yeah.
when you believe.
So what's one action they can take today, like right after listening to this podcast? What is one action that they could take today to start achieving that dream?
I suggest that they list down their dreams. Probably list down at least 20 of your immediate dreams. It could be classified into family, probably your um, material dreams,
Yeah.
like car, what car you want to drive, travel, what do you want, and of course, spiritual, about yourself. How can you improve as a person? So it's always good if you take time and focus on writing all of this, and then take the top three
Top three.
of those dreams, and probably most likely these are your compelling reasons. And when you are down there, you're not achieving it, go back to that list. Of course, I will always tell people, if it is your dream, you don't need to memorize it.
Yeah.
It should come from your heart that these are the things I want to achieve in life.
For the Gen Zs listening to this podcast, we could put it into Pinterest, right? We have all of these tools now: Notion, Pinterest, even Instagram, that you could
Yes.
actually save and create a collection already
Okay.
and tag it as my dreams, spiritual, family. And that's one thing I did when Dad and I started talking about dreams a year ago. I really made sure to place it on Pinterest so that I could envision it. And I used Canva. Canva is free. I used it to make my own wallpaper with all of my dreams, my top three dreams on my wallpaper so that I see it every single day. So thank you, Dad, for sharing us your wisdom, your dreams, and how you started out. We'll see you at the next episode.
See you soon.